We got work to do. We got some work to do. Just when I thought I did my due diligence by breaking down Euphoria, you get two more disses from Mr. Lamar after that. And I feel we at least got to break them down. It's your boy Dame. Subscribe to Dame's World. As y'all know, in the hip hop world, two of the top gunners, Kendrick Lamar and Drake, have been going at it. Shout out to both artists for putting out what I believe to be quality content and making the battle at least worthy of preferential. Like if you favor this type of music, you might align with Drake. If you favor that type of music, you might align with Kendrick. I don't think a clear-cut body murder happened on either side. That's just my personal take. I think they both put out good enough content. However, with my likeness, I do favor one's content over the other, just naturally. It's like whether or not you like sugary or sweet food, sugary or salty foods. Preference is the nature of bias. We all have bias as human beings. It's okay as long as it's not clouding your judgment completely to where you're over. I don't care what nobody say. Drake won. I don't care what nobody. I don't care whatever song he got. Kendrick won. Unless you're not overtly biased, it's okay to have that implicit underlying bias as a human being. We all got it. Don't trust the man who says that they have zero bias. That just means they're not aware of their bias. So with that being said, I'm breaking down K-Dot joints. Meet the Grams. This one, a concept piece. Kendrick is known for making conceptual songs, meaning it has an undertone and an underlying main theme. And I'm going to use this theme throughout the whole song. So he's essentially writing letters and consoling and counseling each member of the Grams and talking to them personally about their son or their father, depending on who he's talking to. And he starts with Adonis. And I'll say this about the truths, what's true and what's a lie. We don't know as fans what exactly is the truth and what exactly is a lie. All we can do is take what we can gather from the surface. And we do know that Adonis was withheld to the public. And that's as much as we know. That's not to say that he wasn't in his life and he wasn't secretly spending time, but we do know that his son was withheld from the public. So the first verse, Dear Adonis, there's some type of merit to it based on what we know. But we can't say it's completely everything he's saying is a fact. Drake could be in his kid's life and we just don't know. As the public, we can't say what we know from a third party. You know what I'm saying? We don't know these people personally. Only they really know the truth. Adonis knows if his dad is in his life or not. If it is, it hit harder. If it don't, it hit a little less. That's the thing about the truth and substance. These bars are more substantial when they're true from K-Dot, from Drake, and they're less substantial when they're lies from K-Dot, from Drake. So I said out the gate, whoever's telling the truth has the leg up. If they both telling the truth, we can just relate the content. If they both lying, we can just relate the content. But if one of them is telling the truth and one of them is vastly lying, then I'm going to favor whoever is on the side of the truth, because that makes every line more substantial. And with that being said, we're going to get into it. Dear Adonis, in my Kendrick voice, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive. I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom. I'm sorry that you got to grow up and then stand behind him. Life is hard, I know. The challenges of always being gone in this, or the challenge is always being gone in this home. Sometimes our parents make mistakes that affect us until we grown. So that's a nice bar. Our parents, the actions you have as a parent, they're consequential to your kid. So what you do affects them, whatever it is that you do. That's just something to be mindful of as a father, as a daughter, as a mother, as a guardian, as a parent. What you do affects your kids. So know that. So tighten up, nigga. So sometimes our parents make mistakes that affect us until we grown. And you a good kid that need good leadership. Let me be your mentor since your daddy don't teach you shit. Now this is a bar just F applicable. If these things are true, it's like Kendrick is like playing big homie to his son, which is the ultimate insult. If Adonis and him don't have a fruitful relationship and he's listening to this song and he's soaking up game, because at the end of the day, Kendrick is not just dissing Drake, but he's trying to give the Graham some game on how to raise kids, whether that be Drake when he was a kid or Drake's kids himself. It's counsel, which I think is a genius strategy if you think somebody's out of order. So you a good kid that need good leadership. Let me be your mentor since your daddy don't teach you shit. Never let a man piss on your leg, son. Either you die right there or pop that man in the head, son. Never fall in the escort business. That's bad religion. Please remember, you could be a bitch even if you got bitches. Dom DeMarco. And I'm calling you son. So this is the ultimate, don't call my kid, this ain't your son, Kendrick. So this is something that could be a jab and that can be taken heavily from Drake. Like, don't be talking to my kid like that, boy. But what he's saying, I'm giving you advice on how to be a man. So never let a man piss on your leg, son. Either you die right there or pop that man in the head, son. Don't let nobody disrespect you to the point to where now it gives way for other people to disrespect you. That's the thing about holding your grounds and being principled. You don't let somebody just devalue and dehumanize you. If a bully sees you can be bullied, they'll bully you again. And other bullies will bully. So we know Drake with, I think, T.I.'s friend, alleged, pissed on Drake disrespectfully. And again, I don't know the exact truth, but this was what was floating around. So there's some type of merit. It's not completely out of the blue. This was floating around in the industry for a while. So that might be true. And if it is, it hits harder. Never let a man piss on your leg, son. Either you die right there or pop that man in the head, son. Never fall in the escort business. That's bad religion. Please remember, you could be a bitch even if you got bitches. So prostitution and escort services, this is for a fact that people in OVO, he keeps mentioning somebody in OVO had a case. I think his name is Cole something, and he did. And he pleaded guilty to assaulting the 22-year-old woman. This is a fact. So she was a prostitute and an escort. So OVO has proof verifiable of fucking with prostitution and escorts. And then Drake's Adonis, I believe, his mother was in a business similar to that. I don't know if it was escort or porn, but something of the faculty of paying for your services. This is substantial because from what we know, it has soundness to it. And then it's a cold line. Never fall in the escort business. That's bad religion. Please remember, you could be a bitch even if you got bitches. Like, you just because you got women don't make you a solid individual. You just got girls. But you could still be a clown. Never code switch. Whether right or wrong, you a black man even if it don't benefit your goals. Do some push-ups and get some discipline. Don't cut them corners like your daddy did. Fuck what Ozempic did. Don't pay to play with them Brazilian yens. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership. So he's teaching, and that's the thing about working out and physical exercise. It instills discipline in you. So the push-ups are not just for the abs, but this is a disciplinary method. You know what I'm saying? You're building endurance. You're building strength. You're building resilience. You're building a lot of things that help you to be more fortified in the realm of just discipline, which is a conduit to self-love. So, and then he's taking shots at Drake for getting surgery and using pills to lose weight and fix himself, which the surface gives us some evidence that that may be true. We don't know exactly, but from that picture a couple months ago and what it seems to be substantial. I can't say it's 100%, but it do look like he did get work on his abs. Let's just keep it a bean. So he's saying do some push-ups, get some discipline. Don't cut them corners like your daddy did. He didn't do the due diligence to working out and exercising to get what he got. Fuck what Ozempic did. Ozempic is a weight loss drug. It's a drug for other uses, I think, such as diabetes. I just looked it up. But Ozempic also can help you lose weight. So he's saying, fuck the shortcut. Fuck what Ozempic did. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Either he's talking about surgery, some type of like surgery in Brazil, or he's talking about paying to play with them Brazilians escort services. One or the other or both, but he's saying don't do neither. Don't fuck with the escort business and don't get surgery to try to build yourself up when you can work hard, do rigorous training, and build yourself up the natural, organic, and disciplined way. Bar. Don't play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership. Understand them throwing rocks and hiding hands. That's law. Don't be ashamed of who you with. That's how we treat your moms. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you with somebody, don't be ashamed. If you were ashamed, you probably shouldn't be with them. Keep it a bean. But you know what I'm saying? Hold pride in what you like. Don't care what society thinks about it if you truly like it. So that's where the shame gets removed, because you don't care what people think. Be accepting and proud of what you do like in this life, and then you can move freely. And you don't have to hide the mother of your kid or a kid per se. Don't be ashamed about who you with. That's how you treat your moms. And it seems a bit applicable. I can't say it's facts, but does he boast around with Adonis's mom? Does he? Not so much. And that could be why he hid the whole aspect in the first place, but who knows? Don't have a kid to hide again, be sure. 5% will comprehend, but 95 is lost. Now, don't have a kid to hide again, be sure. This is the claim of the daughter. Now, we know that Drake said they put that out just to misinform Kendrick. So what I can conclude from that, for one, Kendrick is not a liar, but rather misinformed if it's not true, which is a big difference. If you're getting on these songs and you're deliberately lying, then it takes much more away from it. But if you get some information you think is true and then you expose it and you're wrong, you're misinformed. Being misinformed is way different from being a liar. One of them is of ill intent and amoral. The other one is ignorance. You lacked the knowledge to know the truth, so you said something that wasn't true, but you didn't lie. So this tactic that Drake had, it stripped some credence from the statement, but it didn't strip the validity of Kendrick's approach. He thought it was true. You feel me? So given he thought it was true, he thought he had a bomb. And again, I don't know the truth. I don't know if he got daughters out there. You don't know. We're just going with hearsay. One say he does, one say he doesn't. One say he leaked out the information intentionally, and maybe he did. But he could be using that to cover his ass. Who knows? Nobody knows. Don't have a kid to hide again, be sure. 5% will comprehend, but 95 is lost. That's my line right there. Because you got this world that's consistent. And the 5% is the one who have in the religion of, I want to say Islam, if I'm not mistaken, or Nation of Islam. I don't know which ones. I'm not big on religion. But it's a 5%, and then there's a 95%. The masses who don't have the 360 degrees of knowledge, and then there's the 5% who do have that understanding. And those tend to be the people who dictate, govern, and control society. Or are just aware, hyper aware, and conscious. So that's what he's getting at, that whole 5%er logic. The 5% will comprehend, but 95 is lost. Most you people won't get it. Bar to me. Be proud of who you are. Your strength comes from within. Righteous. That material, money, cars, clothes, Kendrick has always been a spiritual artist. He'll get in the boastful material realm and with the ego of competition, but he always brings it back to what truly matters, and that's the soul and the spirit. So be proud of who you are. Your strength comes from within. A lot of superstars, that's real, but your daddy ain't one of them, and you nothing like him. You'll carry yourself as king. Can't understand me right now. Just play this when you 18. So he's giving Adonis advice. When you grown, play this and see how it hits. And then that will, to me, will really dictate. Time will have to tell to how this battle unfolds. More so in the realm of the truth being revealed. Right now, we got hearsay. We got I heard, you heard, he said, she said. And then we're concluding based on a lack of evidence. But in time, we might get more information to be like, oh, wait, this did happen. This didn't happen. That was untrue. That was true. So then that will help leverage both or one or none of their cases, depending on what we are able to get. But at this point right now, we're siding based on what we think from a little bit of evidence. Then the next verse. Dear Sandra, your son got some habits. I hope you don't undermine them, especially with all these girls that's hurt inside this climate. You're a woman, so you know how it feels to be in alignment with emotion, hoping a man can see you and not be blinded. Dear Dennis, you gave birth to a master manipulator, even using you to prove even using you to prove who he is a huge favor. I think you should ask for more paper and more paper and more paper. That's he's swagging. You feel me? For one, more paper, more paper, more paper. So the swag inside of it, but it's also substantial too, because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, we know Drake and his daddy had some discrepancies about money. If I'm not mistaken, but I feel like we've heard that in the past couple of years of his dad asking for money and just wanting to reap the benefits of his son's success because of his usage. We know Drake has put him in songs and put him in the limelight, and this, as a consequence, did give him some credence and credibility in these black cultures. His daddy looked like a stepper. So Kendrick is using that angle to say, like, he used you for credibility as a black man. Even though your relationship probably wasn't all that growing up, he used you as an opportunist to get leverage as far as, oh no, Drake is a real one. He got a black daddy and his daddy from the streets. So he's using that play. So you gave birth to a master manipulator, even using you to prove who he is a huge favor. I think you should ask for more paper and more paper and more paper. I'm blaming you for all his gambling addictions, psychopath intuition, the man who liked to play victim. You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis. Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy now. Listen. So now he's just accusing things we can't prove again. Gambling addictions, psychopath intuition, the man who liked to play victim. You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis. So he's on Drake's dad about raising a bad seed. Sandra, Drake's mom, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy now. Listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. No. I don't think they can come back from this. This ain't no friendly fade no more. When you say you think a nigga should die, your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. So he's aligning him with people in this disgusting realm, which is why Drake's Heart Part 6 had to make rebuttals. You have to rebut such egregious claims. Whether true or not, the person behind, the person under fire for those claims, they're going to have to put up some type of public front. I don't give a fuck who you are. You going to let this nigga call you a pedophile or a sex trafficker, whatever the case it is? So Drake had to come and reply to that, because this and the next song I'm breaking down, Not Like Us, banger, are steeply accusing Drake of nefarious behaviors with women. So your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. Comparing him to Weinstein, which we know is a pervert pedophile type guy. He hates black women, hypersexualized them with kinks of an info fetish. Grew facial hair because he understood being a beard just fit him better. Now, I got that as he grew facial hair and a beard because it kind of covers up that perception we have of those who don't have this shit. Like Deion Cole said, he said, niggas, I don't trust no nigga without a mustache. Where the fuck is your stash, nigga? The rape face, if they would call it. You don't got a mustache, you don't got hair. What are you using that for? Are you trying to look young to get young? So I think that's what he's using with the facial hair. He grew facial hair because he understood being a beard just fit him better. He got sex offenders on OVO that he keep on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keep his child around him. So The guy, again, it starts with the K, the Canadian rapper. 2015, he had an assault case against a 22-year-old woman. That's a fact. So, and it says assault. I don't know if it was sexual assault. And I don't know if he has to go through the protocols of neighborhood watch and informing the people, but he's an offender. So there's partial truth to this line right here. He got sex offenders on OVO that he keep on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised. And he keeping his child around him. And we got to raise our daughters around these predators like him lurking. Fuck a rap battle, he should die so all of these women can live with a purpose. I've been in this industry 12 years. I'm going to tell you one little secret. Some weird shit going on, and some of these artists are here to police it. So he's using Drake as one of those artists. If he has a sex offender or at least somebody who assaulted a woman, 22, the other charges got dropped. The other charges was sex trafficking. That's the charge that got dropped. We don't know why it got dropped. When a charge gets dropped, I mean a settlement happened. And he pleaded guilty to assault. So something happened. You feel me? So sex trafficking as well as procuring a prostitute. I don't even know exactly what that means, but that sounds like you're a concierge of prostitution. So you got this girl and she's having sex with other people. This sounds like the stuff that Diddy and Epstein and all these people have been doing. So that's where Kendrick is using the angle. I don't think it necessarily comes from Drake individually doing something, but somebody in OVO, I forget the guy's name, it starts with the K. He said your boy, something got a weird trial. You feel me? That's who he's talking about. So there's some substance to that claim of sex offenders in OVO. He got sex offenders on OVO that he keep on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around him. And we got to raise our daughters knowing that predators like him lurking. Fuck a rap battle. He should die so all of these women can live with a purpose. I've been in this industry 12 years. I'm going to tell y'all one little secret. There's some weird shit going on, and some of these artists be here to police it. They be streaming, I couldn't get the line. They be streaming something victims all inside of their home and calling them tender. Then leak videos of themselves to further push their agenda. To any woman that be playing this music, know that you playing your sister. Or better yet, selling your niece to these weirdos, not the good ones. So he's saying, like, if you play his music, you're helping assist. It's like playing R. Kelly. You play these guys and their music, you're professing what's the word for it? A likeness or even a support implicitly to this person's behavior. This is why cancel culture has become sometimes justifiable. Like, no, this motherfucker was a rapist. Don't play none of his shit. So if you playing his music, he say, know that you playing your sister, or better yet, selling your niece to these weirdos, not the good ones. Cat Williams said, give you the truth, so I'm gonna give mine. The embassy about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. Hey, Lil Brian, keep the family away. Hey, Curry, keep the family away. To anybody that embody the love for their kids, keep the family away. They're looking at you too, if you standing by him. Keep the family away. I'm looking to shoot through any pervert that lives. Keep the family safe. So he's just aligning with Cat Williams. Again, Cat Williams said the same thing about their industry, perverse nature and using other people to house these sick behaviors. His emblem was Kevin Hart. Kendrick's emblem is Drake. So you got to do the comparison of the subjects. Is Kevin Hart the most selling, highest successful artist in the game? And people, he's given the best opportunities and he's plateaued to a certain level for dealing with certain individuals. We can see that compared to a Mike Epps or compared to a Deion Cole or somebody who hasn't taken the channels. Same thing with Drake. He's dealing with certain entities that will ensure success, and while others don't deal with those entities so they don't reap the benefits of the material gain or the accolades or the stats. So it's just a compare contrast. I see Kendrick and Cat aligning in this whole exposing of this sick industry, and Drake and Kevin, they look like people who are in the industry. Not to say that they always support it, but they're taking sacrifices that kind of might implicitly support these behaviors. And be it that somebody in OVO has an assault case against a 22-year-old girl with charges of trafficking and procuring a prostitute, and it kind of leans towards Kendrick's argument. Again, not to say that what happened is definitively true. They're for sure Predator's sick and Drake is kicking it. I don't know the whole case, but I do know that that case with somebody in OVO did happen. And then the third verse, which is controversial because baby girl might not exist. Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. He don't commit to much but his music, yeah, that's for sure. He a narcissist, misogynist, living inside his songs. Try to destroy families rather than taking care of his own. Should be teaching you timetables or watching Frozen with you. At your 11th birthday, singing poems with you. Instead, he being Turks, paying for sex and popping perks. Examples you don't deserve. So this is calling out his behavior. You popping pills and paying for pussy. Getting the prostitution angle. And Drake has never denied those things, and given his past, I don't think he would be able to deny those things. So again, there's substance in the you pay for pussy, you use prostitutes and brothels and things of that nature. This is a part of your reality. So if you're not ashamed of it, that's cool. But if you are ashamed of it, or if it is seemed as a play for Kendrick to use and it's accurate, then it's a fair play. And Turks paying for sex and popping perks, examples that you don't deserve. So your daddy do this type of behavior. Is that stand up? I want to tell you that you're loved, you're brave, you're kind. You got a gift to change the world and to change your father's mind, because our children is the future. But he live inside confusion. Money always been illusion, but that's the life he used to. So he's saying the confusion and the lifestyle Drake chooses is more of a falsehood, where you masquerade, where you mask the internal problems with money, drugs and sex and rock and roll and shit. So he's saying he lives inside confusion, thinking that that type of shit is principled in the quantum realm when it's not. Money always been illusion, but that's the life he's used to. His father probably didn't claim him neither. History do repeats itself. Sometimes it don't need a reason. But I would like to say it's not your fault he's hiding another child. Give him grace. This the reason I made Mr. Morale. So Mr. Morale opened up a lot of real issues. A lot of family matters. No pun intended, but he did it to give the kids some perspective and some hope that they can break generational curses. Parents aren't perfect. Parents fuck up. Parents make mistakes, sometimes bigger than others. And it affects the child, like Kendrick said in his song. So he's saying, I made that for kids who might be going through shit. And again, Kendrick being a conceptual artist, Mr. Morale being another concept piece, this is right up his lane. And I favor conceptual pieces more so than just party and bullshit. Kendrick can have a party and bullshit record, but it's a lot less bullshit even when it's party, like swimming pools. That's a conscious party record. So I like my music to come with substance, and they usually come in the form of concept rappers like Kendrick, like Nas, so-and-so. So for all these hiding another child, give them grace. This the reason I made Mr. Morale, so our babies like you can cope later. Give them some confidence to go through something. It's hope later. I never want to hear you chase a man because it's failed behavior. Sitting in the club with sugar daddies for validation. So he's saying when somebody is neglected by their father, they kind of seek that outward in the world. And now you got this sugar daddy in the club paying you and tricking, and you looking at him for advice or comfort because you didn't have a father figure who was firm, who stood principled, who gave you consistent love. If you don't get consistent love from a certain figure in which you're supposed to, you might seek that out in the world. You didn't have a mother figure growing up, you might go out and find a mother figure out in this world. I think that's the nature of yearning for like implicit things that we lack growing up. So a good play on that as far as generational curses go, like it can show in the form of her seeking validation from an old head with money. You need to know that love is love is eternity and trumps all pain. I tell you who your father is, just play his songs when it rains. Yes, he's a hit maker, songwriter, Or I tell you who your father is, just play this song when it rains. Yes, he's a hit maker, songwriter, superstar, right? And a fucking deadbeat that should never say more life. Meet the Grams. So the deadbeat claims, man, hey, I don't know how true. But I do know if you're an artist with the stature of Drake and you're so busy, you can't be that day-to-day father. So yes, Kendrick said, I'm low key, I'm out the way. If you out the way and low key, then you can spend more time. Kendrick is big too, so I'm sure he can't spend as much time as he would like either. But being that he's out the way and he don't always play this game, this hip hop game, he probably dedicates time to his family. I would assume. I don't know. But Drake is full throttle industry, dropping every quarter in the streets, in the clubs. Like, Drake has a lifestyle that, from outside looking in, again, I don't know, it would be hard to say he's dedicating a lot of family time to seeds that he has, Adonis, and seeds that he may or may not have in baby girl. So I think this is a good play as well, the deadbeat angle. And then his last verse, he's going at, I talk to the kids, I talk to your parents. Now I'm talking to you. Dear Aubrey, I know you're probably thinking I wanted to crash your party, but truthfully, I don't have a hating bone in my body. This is supposed to be a good exhibition within the game, but you fucked up the moment you called on my family's name. Why you had to stoop so low to discredit some decent people? Guess integrity is lost when metaphors doesn't reach you. So he's saying he took it personal because Drake first initiated the Son or the Whitney line, I want to say. So like that, didn't have family involved. It was just competitive. Like, fuck the big three niggas, just big. I'm on you niggas. Y'all niggas is weak in rap. Is his competitive claim. It wasn't personal. And I think when Drake dropped, he mentioned Whitney. And that made it a little bit more personal. And that's why he said, don't speak on the family, Crody. But that's what he's saying is escalating it to this more messy context. Discredit some decent people. Guess integrity is lost when the metaphors doesn't reach you. And I like to understand because your house was never a home. 37, but you showing up as a 7-year-old. You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems, bad with money, whorehouse, soliciting, women problems. Therapy's a lovely start, but I suggest some ayahuasca. Strip the ego from the bottom. Bar. That's just a bar I fuck with heavy because as somebody in the realm of, you feel me, medicine for real, I don't talk about them doctor's office with they medicine giving you lean and giving you Prozac and giving you all type of shit that side effect come different. I'm talking about the nature's medicine. So whether that be shrooms or DMT or herbs or ayahuasca, these things help you figure out self at a different realm. You don't got to travel physically to travel mentally. And some of these hallucinogens, as they call it, herbs and medicines, they help you get a deeper perspective of yourself and of life. So some of them are ego killers. I haven't done ayahuasca personally, but I've done certain medicines that have dwindled my ego, and it let me know, like, damn, like, that's not actually a pure reality. It's fallible, and maybe my ego and my belief of things needs to be reshaped. So Kendrick is employing this message. Maybe he done took that drive and that trip. So he's saying Drake needs to take something to denounce his own ego. And his accusations are you got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems. So we know Drake's a gambler. It's been known that he gambles a lot with other artists. This has been verified through other artists. Drinking problems, we can't verify that. Pill popping and spending problems, we can't verify these things. So these are all accusations. They only hold weight if they come out to be substantial. So this is an angle one is using in which fans we don't know. Pill popping and spending problems, bad with money. Whorehouse, soliciting women problems. Now that holds a little bit more weight given somebody in OVO had procuring a prostitute and human trafficking accusations that were dropped because you accepted an assault charge. That's the truth. The thing is, you have to take the truth and formulate a claim. You can't neglect the truth You can't suppress it. You take the truth and formulate a claim to make your theory on what you think happened. And that's what I'm doing. So the whorehouse soliciting women problems, there's some substance to that. Therapy's a lovely start, but I suggest some ayahuasca. Strip the ego from the bottom. You do this ayahuasca, and it'll let you know who you are, and you'll come out a better person. I try to emphasize with you because I know you ain't been through nothing. Crave entitlement, but want to be liked so bad it's puzzling. No dominance. Let's recap moments where you didn't fit in. No secret handshakes. No secret handshakes with your friends. No culture cache to binge. Just disrespecting your mother. Identities on the fence. Don't know which family will love you. The skin that you living in is compromising persona. Can't channel your masculine even when standing next to a woman. I kind of butchered the flow on that, but he's decoding and breaking down. I want to empathize with you because I know you ain't been through nothing. Like, you're privileged. And this is a solid play because we know Drake grew up more affluent. He had stuff. He had resources. Privileged kids go through less than disenfranchised ones as far as survival mechanism goes and things that are like your life is in jeopardy. Real life shit, I want to say. Rich people problems, they're problems nonetheless, but they're different than poor people problems. I gotta eat. You worried about some shit that happened maybe at school with your teacher and you got a bad grade. Something that's just more in the realm of it's not a life or death problem. That's my assessment. Kendrick come from these places where he had them. That's why he said, have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play. I've been through some shit and I'll tell you what I've been through. Have you ever been through that? So this is whether you ain't been through shit. The entitlement plays to me have some soundness. So, but wanna be liked so bad is puzzling. No dominance. And I think this is a stretch, but puzzle, dominoes, but that's a stretch. I'm not saying that he meant that, but dominoes is kind of like a puzzle. But he said, you want to be liked so bad that it's puzzling. No dominance, not dominoes. So that's a reach. I just threw that out there. Let's recap moments where you didn't fit in. No secret handshakes with your friends. No culture cache to binge. Just disrespecting your mother. Identity is on the fence. So you don't know who you are. Your identity is on the fence. And this is, we recapping before you had these secret handshakes with your friends and before you was being a vulture in the rap culture. You wasn't taking off and soaking up game. Let's recap before that, where you was disrespecting your mother, your identity's on the fence. Don't know which family will love you. So you got two different cultures within your family being mixed, black and white. And I've seen this happen before in my relative existence. An identity struggle because you got two different sides of the family with two totally different beliefs, and one side might accept you, one side might, both sides might not accept you. So there is an identity battle in some interracial beings, unfortunately. Shout out to all my people going through that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's attacking that. Identities on the fence. Don't know which family will love you. The skin that you living in is compromising persona. So like, you have insecurity. So how you live inside is compromising persona based on how people see you or how you're seen. Can't channel your masculine even when standing next to a woman. So you can't even be a man around a woman. It's what he's saying. Standing next to a woman, you a body shamer. You gonna hide them baby mamas, ain't you? You embarrassed of them. That's not right. That ain't how mama raised us. Take that mask off. I want to see what's under them achievements. Why believe you? You never gave us nothing to believe in. Now, there's been like ghostwriter claims and the Adonis. There's been situations where we can verify that Drake didn't keep it 100. So that play is, I like that line. Why believe you? You never gave us nothing to believe in. And I think this is why most of the population is gravitating towards Kendrick is possibly telling more truth because of character. Now, my brother brought up this good point. People are like, why you believe in Kendrick more than you believe? That's what it means to be a stand-up character in presentation. If somebody I know always tells the truth or they haven't had much gossip and discrepancies that I can find, and when they tell me something, I'm going to trust it more than someone who I know has lied before. If I seen you lie before, the next time you say some shit, I'm going to question whether or not it's true. So the believability goes down based on the character that you've presented. And I'm not saying Drake is a bad or immoral or complete lying character, but the Adonis, the ghostwriting, the the multitude of things Kendrick is going to claim, he has not been completely 100 and truthful about those things. So if I had to guess who's more of a liar in this altercation, I would say I think Drake is more lying, but I can't validate who's lying and who's telling the truth. But I can validate that Kendrick is not lying when he's talking about the daughter. He, at most, was misinformed because Drake said we leaked it out to make you believe that. So it's not like, oh, this is a lie, but I'm just going to say this. That's some bullshit. So why believe you? You never gave us nothing to believe in because you lied about religious views. You lied about your surgery. You lied about your accent and your past tense, all this perjury. You lied about them ghostwriters. You lied about your crew members. They all pussy. You lied on them. I know they all got you with them. You lied about your son. You lied about your daughter, huh? You lied about them other kids that's out here hoping that you come. You lied about the only artist that can offer you some help. Fuck a rap battle. It's a long life battle with yourself. And that is, again, I make music that electrify him. You make music that'll pacify him. When he said this, you lied, and he used the ad-libs in the back to emphasize, you lied. I feel like my ancestors were saying that shit. I started getting goosebumps and chills, and I'm like, damn, like, you lied. So I think that emphasis with the background, you lied, like, it's to embed in your head, like, bro, this is serious. This is some real shit. You lied, bro. And that's why we won't believe you, because you got a history of lying. And he says several different things. You lied about religious views. You lied about your surgery. You lied about your accent and your past tense, all is perjury. You lied about them ghostwriters. You lied about your crew members. They all pussy. You lied on them. I know they all got you in them. You lied about your son. You lied about your daughter, huh? You lied about them other kids that's out here hoping that you come. You lied about the only artist that can offer you some help. And that's relative. Some people say that's daylight for the ghostwriting thing. And some people say lying about other artists. I don't know. But that's accusing him of 7, 8, 9 lies right there. And at least 2 or 3 or 4 of them we can say on the surface, the surgery, the son, and the accent, and the ghostwriter. A couple of them is like, okay, I can see that. You did lie about them ghostwriters. You feel me? Or fabricate or stretch the truth. So with that being said, that completes the Meet the Grams. I loved it, honestly. Just the concept piece and the decoding and breaking down and literally teaching each and every member of the family a lesson, whether it's Dennis, like, you should ask for more paper and more paper and more paper. Or talking to the mom about your son and how he treats women. Talking to Adonis about a father that's not there as much, and let me give you some game since he don't teach you shit. I love the approach, and this is a more personable approach. It's not a banger. My next breakdown, Not Like Us, is a banger. So we're going to get a little bit more jiggy with the shit, when you feel me, when we get to that one. But this one is more introspective. It's more dissecting. It's more picking you apart. However, the baby girl paragraph can be completely untrue, which would discredit that paragraph in itself. If it's true, the baby girl paragraph holds weight. If not, it's like, oh, he ain't even got no kid. So that's where the lines become more substantial when they're true. When they're not true, it's like, oh, he just talking. Like 300 bars. Like 300 bars was a cool diss track as far as how it sounded. But if you break down what was said, a lot of them was not true. So I never really, and I'm a G-Unit fan, that's my bias, but I never really liked songs like 300 bars because you just saying cool shit with a lot of lies. Some, maybe it's a little bit of truth in there, but a lot of the Olivia's a man, like, a lot of these things are just blatant lies. But that's, you feel me, my opinion. Meet the Grams, Kendrick Lamar. Let me know your thoughts, comments. Not Like Us is coming next, so be ready for that. Peace.